Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to talk about a very important topic in the level cap increase going to level 105, but as well, the next dark dimension that's right around the corner here that we need to be mindful of, especially with how important December is in terms of preparing. There's lots and lots coming up, but before I do, first, a word from our sponsor. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Rayge, and we're back with some seriously exciting news for all you Marvel Contest of Champions fans out there. In celebration of the 10-year anniversary, incredible gifts are waiting, 10 must-have champions. And yes, they're all completely free. From December 10th to the 19th, by just logging into the game, you're going to be getting a new champion every single day. This is hands down one of the most generous giveaways we've ever seen in Marvel Contest of Champions history. But wait, hold on, it gets even better. Later this month, a brand new champion, Isophine, is joining the fight. She's the living embodiment of the Marvel Contest of Champions battle room, and trust me, she's going to shake things up with her game-changing mechanic, the Fractured Power Bar. Get ready for a whole new level of strategy. As part of the 10-year celebrations, 60 frames gameplay has now been added into the game, with the level cap going to 70, giving your champions even more power to dominate the battlefield. There's new item capacities, cool cosmetics, and the long-awaited mastery points that are now easier than ever to customize and save. And speaking of masteries, you can now fine-tune your builds with ease. Finally, take a look at the new home screen and Crystal Vault with updated visuals and lighting, making the whole experience feel even more immersive. To close out the holiday in style, there's a special login gift waiting for you on December 24th. The gift you'll receive will depend on your progression level, so make sure to log in and claim your rewards before it's too late. And if all that wasn't enough, Marvel Contest of Champions is giving out bonus codes on top of everything else. If you already redeemed a welcome promo code in the past, you won't be able to redeem it, but if you missed out last time, this is your chance to grab some exciting, generous rewards. Head over to this link to claim your rewards now. Now, let's get back into it. First and foremost, I do want to quickly just talk about the expectations of what we're expecting, right? With the level cap coming from level 100 to increase to level 105 likely, we know what the relative cost is going to likely be around. This has always been increasing over time. As you can see, I have Scientist Supreme here as a great example, but even from level 95 to 100, it costed about 6.6 million. So, having said that, we can probably likely expect the increase to be anywhere between 8 to 12 million gold per character to elevate them from 100 to 105. And keep in mind, this excludes when you go through and actually equip the Crimson gear and so forth, because obviously that's going to matter in cost as well. So what does that mean? It means we have to be very mindful right now with gold resources. That's also why I've been hoarding and saving. That's why I've been spending at most 6 million gold per day. That seems to be what's working for myself for the past year, because we earn more than we spend, and we cap ourselves at 6 million gold per day. That's only relatively around 180 million to 186, and we for the last 4 months, 5 months anyways, we've been earning north of 250 million gold, which is super important to understand, because that right there, understanding that savings and difference, is going to be meaningful if you want to bring up your characters and tunes up to the next dark dimension, which is speculated to be right around the corner, especially since the dark dimensions usually come in the first quarter of the new year. Now, speaking about Dark Dimension, there are a few things that we can prepare, but I want to give you a bit of context first and foremost, right? Let's go all the way back to the last time that we had a new resource coming into the game, right? So these ones earlier, because they required, orange gear here for up to Dark Dimension 2, then we actually had Dark Dimension 3 and Dark Dimension 4, where it was more so about just having the lower gear tiers, but still relating to orange gears, right? So gear tier 14, gear tier 15. So really the most recent example of the newest gear outside of Crimson was teal gear. And this was introduced when Dormammu came in Dark Dimension 5. But if you notice with all these different Dark Dimensions, usually they require the same kind of gear type for at least 2 more renditions. So what do I mean by that? First time that Dormammu came with the teal gear came, right, and then there was a continuation of the mini uniques being utilized as well for Super Scroll. So typically there's 2 or 3 variants of this new gear before an elevation of the next level. So we saw that here. Orange gear was interesting because they got 3 different times, but we have gear tier 16 and Dark Dimension 5 as you see there, and then it jumped all the way to gear tier 18 for teal gear as well. I think what happened was because Age of Apocalypse came out and it almost kind of skipped the Dark Dimension, hence why we jumped from gear tier 16 to 18. But regardless, we know that the next Dark Dimension's likely going to be carrying forward the Crimson Gear because of the fact that this was actually skipped. Dark Dimension 7 came with Mephisto. Odin was originally announced to be a legendary character, and then they quickly pivoted and changed the actual requirements, which in this case was T through ISO 8 level 3. So I do have a feeling it's going to be Crimson Gear for a couple things. First and foremost, this was actually an official Dark Dimension with Mephisto, and then secondly, there wasn't a continuation of that. And then actually, even moreover, the fact that they've been actually releasing Crimson Gear over Crimson Gear in almost every respect, right? Even if you think about the resources that we're getting right now in Orcus raids, all the different raids that we're doing, I mean, these rewards have been amazing. If you've been able to, stay at least in the top, 250, 500, which is in my eyes really, really good already. The bulk of these Crimson Gear raid orbs, which, as you can see with each season, we're getting 70 plus orbs depending on how you're doing. And don't forget, we also have the daily component as well. Every day that you're doing day in, day out, these rewards are coming to our account daily. So I've been amassing quite a bit of Crimson Gear. The other telling sign as well is every event, every store that they've added in the last month and a half to 2 months, they've added some way for us to purchase some Crimson Gear. So, Turkey is a most recent example, but, there was opportunities here for the Awakened materials, the turkeys and so forth. But as you can see here, more Crimson Gear. And to be honest, it's really good value too. I mean, you're getting some meaningful uniques for, I would say, actually pretty, the turkeys getting generated day in, day out from just playing the game. It's been meaningful. Then we got the Snow Globe store that was recently added, and you can see here, similar story, right? Very similar in cost, except scaled a little bit differently, obviously, because the Snow Globes are actually purchased differently from the turkeys. But you can even see here, just Crimson Gear is available throughout the stores. You don't even need to actually purchase it with gold, because I think better value is going to be had with those too. But more importantly as well, we have an abundance of Teal Gear from all the raid components as well. So that's what I've been purchasing, all the uniques. These are a great bottleneck to cover, especially when you have to elevate your characters all the way from gear tier 16 to 18. So that's another thing that I've been preparing right now, because with the level cap increase coming, we know that we're going to be needing more Crimson Gear, which means new teams and new characters are coming, which means we have to elevate them as well, especially since we know now that there's 3 or 4 teams behind the scenes that are coming to the game in quite an elevated way. Something else I've also been doing is I've been purchasing all of the L4 training modules as much as I can in the arena store. To be honest, that's really the only way I've been just using my my arena credits, because aside from that, there's not really much you can do with it, so you might as well take advantage. And then other than that, guys, I'm saving war credits. I'm saving my my Crucible credits. There's not much I can do with it right now. Maybe you can take a look out for potential diamonds for some of the teams that are around the corner that you want to upgrade. But aside from that, it is basically becoming a huge hoard fest, right? I'm just looking at the resources I need to purchase to really top up, because we know with level cap increase coming, gear tier level coming, Crimson Gear is going to be important. Gold's going to be important, and like I said earlier, training modules is probably the most limiting factor, because there's only a couple ways that you can actually get it in the game, such as through Crucible, but even that's kind of nominal based on the ranking that you have, and as well, like I said, the arena store. So that's kind of how I'm preparing, guys. Those are all the different ways I'm trying to tackle this right now. And like I said, and be mindful of how much you're saving. That's why you can see here, I got over 3,000 Crimson Gear raid orbs now, just waiting and piling it up. Everything's getting saved right now because it's coming. The last thing you can do, if you guys want to be, super locked in for obviously preparing for the level cap increases, I know some folks can start hoarding energy, right? Maybe choosing not to use your campaign or ISO 8. As you can see, I've been actually waiting for an ISO 8 event, and because it hasn't come, that's okay. But the good news is this has actually turned into a good problem for me. It doesn't really impact my strike pass too much, and because I'm hoarding so much ISO 8 campaign, remember, this can be translated to experience points later on when the level cap increase does. So you do one or the other, but I wouldn't do both, in case you guys are wondering. That's kind of what my game plan is right now. There's been back-to-back campaign events, so it's been difficult to hoard that one, but I think ISO 8, because of the lack of events, this has created an actual good opportunity for us to just prepare for the level cap increase, guys. So that's what my game plan is. This is what I'm doing free to play, and I'm hoping to actually obviously crush the next Dark Dimension. In addition, most of my characters and teams are already well prepared in the end game. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in comments below. Level cap increase is coming. We're just now waiting for the announcement, as well as what the next Dark Dimension is going to be like. But We know what to expect. We know how to best prepare, and now we're just locking in our game plan and executing it when it does come live. So thank you so much. And last but not least, once again, don't miss out on Marvel Contest of Champions' biggest and most generous giveaway. These 10 free champions were for free from December 10th to 19th. And again, all you have to do is log in, and there's even an opportunity for 7-star champions based on your progression level. So they're up for yours for the taking. Please use the link once again in the description below to download Marvel Contest of Champions now and join the contest. Thank you. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.